Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Virgo January 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. We have a very interesting deck this month. Now, my daughter found it in a flea market, wrapped up in string, with no box, no papers, nothing to identify what it is. You may know what it is, in which event, drop a note in the description box below. Now, of course, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different parts of the world over the course of the last month over FaceTime and Skype. I've also done a number of healings as well. Now, readings I charge for, the details are in the descriptions. Healings are free. It's a spiritual duty that I have, and I must provide it to those whom ask for it. And get nothing in return for it. So there's no catch, you won't be recommended anything, there's no obligation, nothing will be sold to you or suggested. It will be just what it is. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct, and it's great to see the subscribers back again. Thank you for inviting me into your home. I really enjoy seeing you each month, truly I do. You're like my extended family. Great to see you. Well, we just take 5 because they're not just 2 seconds a card. They usually have a lot to say to us, so show me the magic. The Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit, it's interesting, the 5 of Cups, the Princess of Pentacles, and finally, what is there here? And there is the Ace of Wands. Well, I'll bring the camera around, and as is our usual practice, why don't you come and sit down next to me? You and I will have a good close look at the imagery on these cards while they speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Now, there's quite a lot of esoteric imagery in these cards. I'll touch on some of them, but of course you are quite free to interpret them however you would like. I'll just give you my take on the matter. So this is an interesting thing here, this 5 of Cups, because it's placed among so many other wonderful cards that 2 things are happening with it. Either it's being downplayed or it's arriving here as a message for something to you to think about. I'll get to that in a moment. Now, where to start? I think with this card here. You drew it first, and so let's see what there might be here. Now, let me see. Well, I notice here that there is a North American native medicine wheel going on. Look, please forgive me. I'm not going to go into all the symbology associated with the North American medicine wheel because it would take a video of about half an hour or more by itself, but I will touch on some of the other things that are going on around it. I notice there's a medicine wheel over here as well, quite coincidentally. Let me look first at these moons that are here, and the cycle of the moon surrounding the outside of that wheel. They represent the cycles of life that are ever changing. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Now the spirals, these things here, as you see them, these light-colored spirals that are coming out of the wheel itself, well, I think what we can say is that they signal the constant motion of the wheel's cycles. Now, animals, I do know, are part of Native American folklore, and over here we have an eagle, which is masculine energy, illumination, spirit, the golden door. Down at the bottom there is the coyote, which is child energy, innocence and faith. Over here there is the black bear, which is feminine energy, interestingly, introspection. And in the north is the white buffalo, the place of wisdom and gratitude. Now, what you might be more familiar with are archangels, and they take up each of the corners here. Now, in the 4 corners of this painting, they appear, and they symbolize guidance and help for you at this time. Now, down here, this is the Archangel Michael, bringing protection to you. You have a divine protection at this time. The element is fire, and the astrological aspect is Leo, the fixed sign of fire. At the bottom left is Uriel, bringing peace. The element is earth, and the astrological aspect is the fixed sign of earth, being Taurus. At the top left up here, we have, who would that be? That would be Raphael, bringing healing to you. The element is air, and the astrological aspect is the fixed sign of air, being Aquarius. And at the top right, the famous Gabriel, bringing resurrection, the element being water, and the astrological aspect being the fixed sign of water, which is Scorpio. Now the planet, and there's a symbol for it, associated with the energy here is Jupiter, which is all about luck and expansiveness for you. Now, this is very much speaking to me for you at this time of a new beginning, an expansion thanks to Jupiter, creativity, a big breakthrough, and actually unexpected good fortune. There's good luck around you this month, and isn't that a nice change? You may well have a chance, opportunity which brings you some benefit. Now, of course, there's always going to be ups and downs, but there's the possibility also of a life-changing meeting here, you know. Now, what we also have is the need to be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities that come your way. Now, when times are good, stay centered in the middle of that wheel. Don't get crushed underneath it, because if you're in the center, irrespective of which way it turns, you will always be protected. And understand this, if you think that things are challenging, don't be discouraged, because things are definitely getting better for you now. Change is about to happen. Now, you might need to alter your present course or change things around to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. Do you know, if no miracles are happening for you, then something is wrong. I think you stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough, so use this time. Make your luck. Are you ready for the great fortune that stands just before you? What's still standing in the way? And say to yourself, I am a prosperous individual. I am flexible in times of change. I enjoy manifesting internal abundance externally. Abundance is what created me, and abundance is what I am, and I am now ready for the miracle in my life. Well, let's have a look at this 5 that we mentioned before, shall we? And just see how at odds it is with everything else. Actually, I don't think there's a problem with it. There's never a problem in my readings for you. It's all about how you approach things, because there is nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. And in this painting here, we have a person with a long grey coat that is staring down at 3 cups that have spilled the liquid out of them. Now, there are 2 cups which are still standing, and they have rainbow butterflies coming out of them, and the colours are of the rainbow, which signifies the 7 chakras, those 7 colours. Now, interestingly, this green butterfly that's there, in the centre, that symbolises the healed, transformed heart. Now, the rainbow itself symbolises hope and the bridge between heaven and earth. And of course, here is the brilliant sun shining out with healing rays of new beginnings. Now, astrologically, where this card is placed, I have Mars in, what would it be? It'd be the first decan of Scorpio, that 23rd of October to the 2nd of November. But because it has a number 5 there, I also numerologically and mystically have an association of the planet Mars with the 5 as well. So there's Mars here and there's Mars coming into Scorpio. Now, you would think that there would be Mars in Scorpio would be no problem, because Scorpio is a feminine sign and Mars takes on a more gentle aspect when it is in that feminine sign of Scorpio. Mars is the ruler of Scorpio in classical astrology. I don't for one moment suggest that Pluto is, but I know a lot of modern astrologers do. I just do not. But there's a double dose of Mars here. And Mars can be difficult. And of course, Mars is hot. And the extra Mars energy and the fire associated with it evaporates the waters, the emotions of Scorpio. So it's possible that there could be some unfulfilled expectation, a loss of sense of balance, maybe some problems, aggravation in relationships, or some other unexpected disturbances around here. Now, it might just be that your expectations were much too big. Some unexpected event, perhaps only a thoughtless reaction, has ruined those expectations immediately. Now, this really aggressive Mars energy here dominating the scene suggests to me that there could well be something which has been smouldering beneath the surface within you for a long time. You've overlooked the problem, perhaps because you didn't want to admit to its existence. You ignored the warnings, perhaps, of your inner voice, but now you have to face the sobering facts and look those facts in the eye. But remember, every disappointment contains the possibility of an important learning experience. And in the scheme of things, what is a disappointment? It could be that something didn't work out in the way that you had perhaps hoped it was going to work out. But this energy is saying, don't sit around in the corner in self-pity and regret, because new and better experiences are in store, and this is being shown everywhere in here. So don't become disillusioned. If you have feelings of disappointment as a result of someone else's actions, just find it in your heart to forgive them. Let bygones be bygones and move on, because life is short. Now, the feelings that do come up here sometimes can often tend to give rise to a fear of taking another risk, or of making an effort in the future, or hiding away in some place where you can't be disappointed again. Maybe there was some previous disappointment, yesterday's, last year's disappointment. They are all previous disappointments. It's not now. The now, which is where you live, is what is important. And in some time, you'll find out that this is not actually a big deal. But because this is shown up in the center, I'm going to give it some importance. And I'm saying that your soul is urging you to release disappointment. Maybe forgiveness is called for. Now, you do understand that the act of forgiveness releases the person who forgives, not the person who is forgiven. Because The person who is doing the forgiving is the one who is in chains, locked in a prison cell. And I expect that this is going to be something that is going to be, forgotten by you and go out of your life within a period of maybe 5 days or weeks. It's not a big deal. So in summary, I think that either some much too high expectation of yours might have been crushed, or somewhere deep inside you lurks the fear of some disappointment. Well, now is a good time to learn from this situation. Now ask yourself this question. In what areas of your life do you fear disappointment? What have you learned from the disappointments you've experienced until now? It's not a new thing. You already know it. You've already encountered it, so it can't harm you. And how can you prevent disappointment? And say this to yourself. I get to know my own reality by learning to see where I fool myself or when I deny my inner voice. Well, we're going to turn now we'll go down this diagonal and look at this. Well, this is really quite straightforward. There's nothing particularly esoteric about this other than to say that this is about the life force going up here and exploding into your magnificence, I would say here. Now, there's a lot of Virgo around here, but I think that Cancer and Leo are going to be important to you at this time as well. You are going to have high and strong energy. There's a great creative spark within you. New projects are on the horizon, new starts. And there's the possibility here, I think, of a passionate union. Certainly your vital life forces will be searching and surging, I should say. Now, this is fire in wands, and this is like a big flaming torch. Do you know that this is the second highest energy card, the sun being the highest in the deck? And this card shows that the energies which arrive after all blocks have been removed are available to you. These bolts of light go off in all directions, representing the power bursting out of these flames. All security and certainties that you have been clinging to are going to be shaken by the impact of the energies breaking through now, but they're positive. Now, if all obstacles are out of the way, renewal in all areas and all levels of your life can take place. The revitalizing power that's here with this ace, it fills your entire being with new light. Now it is important for the free-flowing energy to have a creative outlet. You can use the energy only if you have a goal towards which you can direct it. The next step after releasing the blocks is to find the right framework in which to set this energy to work. Now, I very much have the energy coming up here that this is representing a time in your life when you have a breakthrough moment of insight and you then feel inspired and motivated to move your life forward. And I do think that a big opportunity is going to be opening up for you. That's what this was saying as well. This is a big opportunity. It's a turning point, and it's a turning point for the better. It said, if miracles aren't happening, then there is something wrong. This is the perfect time for you to draw upon your imagination and make your dreams happen. Now is the time when you are full of power and energy. Engage fully in discovering where and how you can and want to use it. Now, what sort of activity, productive activity, attracts you the most? What gives you the most pleasure? In what framework can you realize your dreams? Say this to yourself, because it is definitely true for you at this time. I have power and energy, and I express that power and energy openly to the world. Now, there was above this an interesting card with a really rather iconic sort of painting upon it, if I may say, and it is that of the Hermit. Now, what's this going on down here? Looks like there's a lot of lightning that's happening down here, and that represents restlessness and life's unsettling situations that stimulate you to seek a deeper meaning in life. This has got Virgo written all over it, this card. Now, the grey cloak that this person, this hermit, is wearing, I think that really speaks of wisdom and insight and the balance between shadow and light. The lantern shines bright with a six-pointed star. Now, the six-pointed star is made up of two triangles, one pointing up, which is fire, and one pointing down, which is water. And that together they represent insight and wholeness. And that image blends the physical and spiritual energies and the conscious self and the subconscious self. Now, this rather stout piece of wood or staff that he has here stands for intellect and knowledge. This owl which is around, and you don't very often see that, in fact I don't recall seeing it myself. The owl is the carrier of dreams. It is a sacred, magical bird able to see through darkness, providing enlightenment, prophecy, protection, and wisdom. And this sort of frame, this portal frame that you seem to have here, looks like a porthole window, doesn't it, like that? Well, that suggests, I think, well, it's got a lot of stars around it, and spirals, which is talking about the cycles of the soul and return to the center of truth. Virgo is here, and this energy here particularly refers to purity, perfection, wisdom, discernment, and details. And the overriding message here is, I analyze. Now, while you're going through the process of leading this very inspired, creative, and active life that's being spoken of by this card and this card, this hermit is saying that you may be a mentor to somebody else. You'll have inspiration, almost like a divine inspiration from within. You'll be finding your own light. It's almost as if the harvest is being completed. You're bringing in returns now and resting in your center. You will also have a great degree of patience at this time. It might surprise you, but it's true. And you'll be a very wise guide. And I'm quite sure that people are going to be calling you and asking you for your opinion on what they should be doing with respect to problems in their lives. It also wouldn't surprise me if you don't get away from a situation in order to get a better insight into it. And you will, I think, become aware of something that you were previously unaware of or in the dark about. I don't know that it's necessarily a secret that's been held from you, but I see you uncovering a fact, a truth, a situation that's there. There's a period here of a sense of understanding that you are you. It's almost an aloneness. Do you have any unresolved situations or relationships in your life? Now is the time to sort them out. And you should say this because it's true for you now, and it is, I enjoy the feeling of completion and resolution, and I will not compromise that which is important to me. Yes, you certainly won't be doing that. You'll be actually saying that this is a time when you're going to follow your true purpose in life. This is what this Princess of Earth is telling me. And actually, you may be able to see it here. There is the moon, and there's the symbol for Earth that's there. Now, the princess is pregnant. There is the star. Here is that medicine wheel that I was talking about, similar to this one that we talked about there over her third eye. This bear is feminine intuition, as is this fox. The swan is for purity. These little fairies that are around, they're nice little things, aren't they? They're the elemental spirits that look after nature itself. The turtle refers to earth, and these butterflies here, there's one which is red, which is fire, blue for water, green for earth, and a sort of a yellowish colour, I suppose, for air. It's a picture of divine womanhood, if you like, sublime womanhood, and a situation where one is at peace with the world. Now, I think that Gemini, Aries, and Taurus are going to be important to you. You are going to be beautiful and strong and pregnant with life. You'll be generous, kind, and benevolent. You may well hear of a pregnancy, of course, or of a birth. Now, what there is also here is that she is the personification of life itself. I think that this is saying that you will also be someone who is kind and generous to people, but following your will or true purpose in life. So this is about getting in touch with that most important aspect of you and protecting it, just as the princess does here with nature around here. It can be a physical pregnancy or a birth of ideas, perhaps. It's a very productive time for you after what may well have been a barren stretch, I must say. You'll be peaceful by nature, but I'm getting very much the feelings of marriage, motherhood, and domestic life that's here. Something new is entering into your life, so prepare yourself for it and what you have to do in order to be ready for something new to come into your life. Say this to yourself: I am alive. I value life. And I am now ready for the new beauty in my life. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards and energies, cosmic energies for you. Didn't you do a good job? Well done. Gee, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And what a fantastic set of imagery it was. What a good month it's going to be for you, I think, and don't you deserve it? Truly you do. Fantastic. Well, unless I see you privately beforehand, then I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.